Hey there, welcome to my KDSpy review. In this review video, what you're going to learn is my take on KDSpy, having used it for a few years now. We're going to cover the three main ways that Kindle publishers use KDSpy, and then we're going to cover one specific category analysis method of using KDSpy that I don't see a lot of Kindle publishers using that's really going to benefit you if you're not already using KDSpy. And then we're going to wrap up with the pros and cons and how KDSpy or KDSpy differentiates itself from other softwares on the Kindle publishing market. Additionally, this is not just going to be me reading off my in-depth article on my blog here. Instead, we're just going to be summarizing each point, and at the same time I'm going to show you like a live tutorial of how you would use each one of these KDSpy features and see if it's worth it for you to invest in KDSpy or not. So without further ado, here we go. KDSpy, this is where we're going to start off. This is the story behind KDSpy, and basically this article here, guys, it sums up how with a few clicks you can see how well a Kindle category is doing compared to another. So we're going to get to that in this section, but first let's cover how most people use KDSpy, and let's get started right away here. So KDSpy, most people use it when they type in the word, for example, a keyword called paleo diet. And once they do that in the Kindle store, they click on the Chrome extension or Firefox extension, the KDSpy button, and then this window pops up. This is going to show each and every book for the first 20 positions. So it's not just page 1, it's also page 2. But what you can see from the screen here is that you're getting a lot of data at a glance. So instead of you having to open up each book to check what's the sales rank for each one of these books, what's the amount of pages look like for this book, and it's much better than just scrolling up and down also to see the reviews. And don't pay too much attention to the monthly revenue. That's just an approximate column there. But you also get to see the prices at a glance. And we'll talk about these other features that you see here on your screen in just a few moments. Okay, so let's talk about these little buttons here, these little dots that are labeled popularity, potential, and competition. I would not pay too much attention to these bubbles here, in my opinion, and in my experience. They're not that they are a good gauge, but there's just so many factors that come into self-publishing a successful book. So if you have a good course, then these really should not matter. Now, I talk about that more here. And by the way, guys, there are some pro tips that are sprinkled out throughout this article. I might not cover all of them, so do make sure to check out this article. It will be linked below this video for you just in case. So the first tip here, self-published books. Okay, I'll let you read that because I don't want to make this video get too long-winded here. So let's move on and cover what the word cloud is. Okay, so the word cloud is basically this button right here. We're still in the example paleo diet keyword, but what this is going to do is it's going to pull up what the top 5 words used in the bestseller titles are. So this might give you an idea of what keywords you should be using in your titles and what perhaps keyword you might have missed. So for example here, paleo is used 32 times, diet is used 21 times in the bestsellers for this keyword. So that's a somewhat useful tool, I think. Alright, the second way people use KDSpy the most is to do author analysis, or spying on your competitors to see how well their books are doing. So for example here, this is Steve Scott's profile in Amazon, and what you can do here when you're on an Amazon author profiles page, you can click on the KDSpy button on your browser, and it's going to pull up all of that author's books, and it's going to show the same type of window here, KDSpy will, and from here you can check and see how his books are selling. And in this case, most of Steve Scott's books are selling. You can see how many reviews he's got or how his sales ranks are. And yes, they are filtered by the sales rank. So the lower the sales rank is, Amazon bestseller ranking, the better, the more Kindle books that are selling. All right, so moving right along here, let's do number 3, which is keeping track of your competitors' rankings, which is an underutilized feature of Kindle Spy, I believe, because if you didn't have this feature, then you would have to track your competitors' sales ranking for as many days as you wanted, but you would have to do that through an Excel spreadsheet or on paper. So let me guide you on how this is done. Alright guys, so I typed in the keyword sales copy into the Kindle store, which now is giving me some good data, but this is how you track a competitor's book for the next 30 days. So what you would do here is click on this T for tracking, and if I wanted to, I already did this, but there's a green button here that would say start sales tracking, and you would click that, and then now it's going to be seeing how well this book is doing for the next 30 days. This can gauge and this can help you out to see if the book that you're going into, that keyword, is it good, or is it compared to another one, would that one be better, right? You can do this for different keywords. This is one of the most beneficial features of KDSpy right here. It's a little bit more advanced than just typing in a keyword and checking all those columns that I showed you before, but I think it's worth it. Alright guys, it's come to the point where we have to do Kindle categories. However, the thing that's going on right now is Amazon's making some changes while I was shooting this review video, so it's not 100% what it used to be. Now I'm going to email Wesley Atkins to see if this has changed, so do come back to the article because that's where I'm going to update, or let you guys know if something's changed for this tactic. Okay, but how do you choose the best categories with Kindle Spy once this is fixed? And the reason why I am assuming Wesley will fix this is because that's what he does with his Kindle Spy software. He's been fixing it and adjusting it to Amazon's algorithm changes and all these aesthetic changes that they make on their website for years, since before 2014. Now, the reason why we want categories next to our book is because of the bestseller badge, right? Check these out. These are eye-catching, right? And they're orange, and it screams "click me." This is going to put you in a better place to sell your book. And another reason is because Amazon promotes your book for you. Okay. And then profitable category research. So this is what I was going to show you on video, but for now I'm just going to stick to this here. So I would say this is a potential category that I would want to go into, right? This Kindle store category. And on the second book here, I would potentially want to go into either this top one here, the international subcategory, or the special appliances category. Now here's the trick on how to figure out which one's good or which one's better than the other, okay? So you would go ahead and click on one of these. That would open up a page that looks like this called the Amazon bestsellers, and it would open up the specific page, for example, for this one, the international subcategory. Okay. Then what you would do is click on the Kindle Spy button. This would pull up all the data for all the books in that bestseller category, international cooking. And by doing this for both categories that you're comparing, or multiple categories that you're comparing from your competition, right? They're already ranking in these categories, so you want to see if you want a slice of that pie. Well, if you do, you can judge a lot better if you know the sales ranking. So for example, the sales ranking here is a lot better than, I believe, this one. Nope. Okay, so you can see this from analysis right here. The sales ranking here is actually good, but this one's better. You see how everything's a lot closer to 0? This is how you would judge one category versus another. Another way of judging is by the metrics that KDSpy gives you. For example, the average sales rank, average monthly revenue, and the bubbles down here. Like I said, take these with a grain of salt. You really just have to do more analyzation, and go with your gut feeling on what the category you want to rank for or rank in is best for you and your book. So in summary, to use Kindle Spy for category analysis, you have to benchmark your competitors' Kindle categories. 2, see if their child categories are as far as you can go in respective to the category tree, and run KDSpy on them too. And then run Kindle Spy on your competitors' categories pages and see which ones are best, and then choose the best categories for your book. But you can have more than 2 Kindle categories. You just have to email KDP right here actually. contact KDP asking them to add so-and-so category to your book, and they'll do that. Okay, so that's a trick that you can do. So Kindle Spy overall is a good quality extension software. It does not need to be installed on your computer. It just works with Google Chrome or Firefox. Okay, so you can't beat the one-time price for $47, like I said, and it's 4 out of 5 stars. And the pros here for this software is that Wesley keeps it updated, like I said, and Amazon just makes so many changes. So Wesley and his team does keep up with the changes and the times, which is also very good for a software for self-publishers. It works for both PCs and Macs. You can't beat the price. It's a browser extension software. Also, what I didn't put here in my ad here is that you can track your competitors' books for 30 days. That's something that you can't do on the competitors of Kindle Spy. Now, the cons here is that it doesn't display Amazon searches per month, which is something that a software like KDP Rocket does do, and I do have an article on that. I'll link it in the description below as well. But I would get Kindle Spy and KDP Rocket if you can. That's a good combo. And like I alluded to earlier in this video, I wish it worked with paperback books, or at least paperback book categories, because then I can judge better what paperback book or CreateSpace book categories to put my paperback books under. Anyways guys, there's a lot of content we covered in this video, and there's even a lot more in this article. So make sure to click on the link below to check out my article. It's much more in depth than this video. I wanted to keep this video as short as possible. I will talk to you in the next video.